Hello, brothers and sisters. Today is November the 22nd. I don't even know where to start. The last 2 days have been the most active as far as dreams and visions that I've ever had in my entire life. Yesterday, I didn't think that could pretty much ever be topped, and last night was just another day, brothers and sisters, of extreme dreams and visions. So I know for a fact, because the Lord gave me a confirmation, multiple confirmations, that we are indeed about to leave. And let's see, I'll start with a confirmation before I get to the actual dream. I had a confirmation here. The Lord had me sing. I started to sing a song, and the words I sung were, "We are free." I sung it again, "We are free." I sung it again, "We are free." I went to sing it a fourth time, and I couldn't speak. I mean, I could speak, but the words weren't coming out. So the Lord was saying, keep it in threes. Why? Because the number 3 is a number of confirmation. And the Lord wanted to make sure that I understood that on this particular flash dream. So after I sing, "We are free" 3 times, I see a huge number 6. And I realized that 6 is symbolic of man. And after that, the third thing, he had me do it in 3. So the first time I sung "We are free" 3 times, I saw the number 6. And for the third time, a second number 3 for confirmation, I saw a moving van. Somebody was driving and was moving. That moving van is a rapture van. So the Lord was saying that we, man, us, the bride, we are free. He's having me praise him for it and sing it. We are free. We are leaving here. Man, we are being taken out. And I saw the moving van taking us out of here. So yesterday, I've had one of the best experiences I've ever had. I told you guys that I got to sing to Jesus, and that was amazing. And I'll talk about that in a little bit again. And after that, I had a dream where the reason I'm bringing this back up again is because, guys, the second night in a row, the Lord talked to me about Jacob. So I'm bringing this back up. And he would never guess the stuff he told me last night. I'm so amazed by it that I'm not even going to tell you guys all of it, because I really have to really contemplate it a lot more. But, okay, so yesterday the day before, he had told me that the mystery had been solved. Now these are the words of the Lord. The mystery has been solved. Go sit on the bench with Jacob, and that is Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the father of Israel. So Jacob, the Lord turned Jacob's name into Israel and the 12 tribes of Israel. So he says the mystery has been solved. Go sit on the bench with Jacob and enter into the house of remnant. These are the words of the Lord to me. So of course I'm really excited about that, and I told you guys all about that. And the very next night, I'm thinking, if I have another busy night like the night before, then we are definitely really close to the rapture. I was like, there's no way. Believe it or not, guys, it happened again. And I will give you the dream, and it gets really deep. So there's a lot of stuff to break down here. So what I'll do is tell you guys, and I won't really try to interpret too much of it. So this dream starts off, and I'm in a building. I'm at a reunion. Now, at this reunion, there's all kind of old friends around, and we're talking. I see a bunch of friends back west again, a bunch of friends from junior high school, and when I used to live in Arizona, a friend named John, a friend named Jeff, and we're all talking. Guys, this reunion could be the wedding supper. So we're talking. We're all like, "Oh, good to see you," and we're talking all this stuff, and then we go into another scene. And all of a sudden, we're like pretty much in a mansion. And everybody has like cameras, and they're taking pictures of where they want their furniture. They put their picture frame up on the wall, and they take pictures of it. I don't know why they were doing that. I think the Lord was trying to show me that he was so excited, because we're going to be having like our mansions, our houses pretty soon. And we're all here, moving furniture around in this mansion, trying to see where we want our furniture and picture frames. I guess it was just showing all the great blessings that we have in store for those who wait upon the Lord. And so as we go on here, and everybody's taking pictures of of where they want their furniture, and I know this is symbolic of all of the mansions and the places that Jesus said he prepared for us in heaven. So we go to a different scene, and guys, we're doing more shopping. We all have these shopping carts, and they're full of stuff. I imagine they are for the mansions. And I laughed because my friend John had a shopping cart, and a few people's shopping carts would kind of get away from them because they were so loaded down. And my friend John had a shopping cart, and I kind of bumped it, and it flew away. It was a smaller shopping cart, and this shopping cart had wings. This shopping cart could fly. And so I went like a bug, and I'm like, I'm trying to grab this thing, and bring it back to John, give it back to him before his shopping cart flew away. So, and I must say, right before this reunion and the mansion thing, I wrote it in my notes because I forgot to say it first, so I put it last. But before this, there was a huge race. Okay, this is before the reunion and before the mansion. So we were in a huge race, guys. This is the race of life. We are all in this race right now, and that's what I always say. We're gonna all see that finish line, and we're racing towards it now. So we're in a race, and we all take off. Now, as I go to take off, I'm actually very athletic. I was like one of the, and I'm not saying this out of pride, I'm just telling you, I was like one of the top running backs in the nation out of high school. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna win this thing, in my head. I'm like getting ready to take off fast. So I was like, but I took off and my shoe kept kind of coming loose, wanting to fall off. I'm like, no, I want to win this race, I'm like, but I finally get my shoes back on, and I noticed that there was one man who runs a perfect race. This guy is just, so I try to catch up to him, and by doing so, I look behind me and I kind of leave everybody else. Once my shoes get put back on, I'm leaving a bunch of people running a race and in the dust. But this guy still won though. And guys, I think this man who won the perfect race, who is that? Who won the perfect race? Who came on the earth and lived perfectly? That is Jesus. I believe it was Jesus, showing that there was one man who ran perfectly, and we all know that to be Jesus. So I take off, and I come in second in this race. And I'm not by all means saying I'm coming in the race of life second. I'm not saying nothing like that. I'm just saying in this particular dream, I think there's a lot of symbolic nature behind it. I am very competitive, so I was trying to win this thing. And so as I come up, and I come in second, and I'm kind of looking around, and I'm worried about my brothers and sisters, so I kind of walk around, and I let you guys, without even going into the building, and I believe the building is where you need to go when you're here to win the race, but I kind of waited outside and let a bunch of you come in behind me, like come in, and then like I didn't go in the building second, like I waited outside for you guys for a little bit. And so when I say you guys, I'm sorry, I mean like, whoever I'm waiting for in this race. So I go, and I'm waiting, and everybody goes into a school and takes a seat. Those of you who are following along, how many dreams now have you heard me say the school? All right, our education does not stop on earth. You will take the knowledge you have with you here on this earth, and you will bring it with you in the next life. Don't forget that. What you have now goes with you. So we go in, and I go in kind of late because I'm waiting for everybody else to come in and kind of being a good brother. And I go in, and most of the seats are already taken, and so I go in, and I'm looking around, and guys, I'm a man, so when I go in, usually, and I'm single, so when I go in, I'm always looking for a pretty girl, I don't know, maybe it's just nature right now, in my mind. I'm not saying we'll ever think like this in the next life, but so I go, and I'm like looking, who's all sitting down, and it seems like I'm always looking for one particular girl in all my dreams. This is the brunette girl. And there's also this blonde girl, but a lot of times represents the bride. But I didn't see her in this particular setting, but I will in this dream. And it's going to blow you away, but I'm going to wait until we get to that part. So I go and I take a seat. We're all filling in fast to the school. We're all at our desk. We're about to have this lesson, guys. We pile in our desk, and we fill this room very quick. So after this class is when we go, we have this reunion, then we go to our mansion. So, okay, so we're going back to this part again. So guys, after the life thing, after the race of life, we go to a reunion, and then we went to the mansions. I think so it's probably wedding supper. Then we get to see our mansions, because the wedding supper might be at the New Jerusalem. It doesn't necessarily, well, it probably isn't heaven, but I don't know exactly where it's at. But the point I'm trying to make is, in this particular dream, we were at life. We went to the wedding supper, the reunion, and then we went to our mansions. Okay, so we're all taking a seat at the class, and all of a sudden we go kind of into a different scene where we're in this I don't know what it was. It was just a large building, and I'm looking for my daughter. My ex, she left years and years ago, a long time ago. We had a 7-year-old little girl, and she kind of took off, but and my daughter is 7 years old, and her name, and I can't find her anywhere, and my daughter's name is also used sometimes in my dreams, because you know what, my ex is not like a God-fearing woman at all. Like, she, doesn't keep the commandments at all. It's like one of the people that say they're Christians, but they do nothing for God. Well, she came up with a name, and she didn't have any kind of spiritual meaning behind it, but come to find out, like, it's huge. She called, my daughter's name is Trinity, and her middle name is Rain. Can you believe that? Trinity Rain. And so her name will be used in a symbolic nature sometimes in dreams. So Trinity Rain, I'm looking for her, and I don't see her in this building, but I know she is safe, and I stopped worrying about my daughter because I'm like, all right, she's with her mom. So I go kind of continue back on this dream. So once again, we find our way wanting to go to this party. So there's a huge party about to take place. So I don't know, maybe the first thing was like a family reunion, a reunion of friends, but this one, after all these events, is more like like this is a party. This is a huge event. So I'm thinking this is more the wedding supper, and the first event was after the race was more of a gathering, like if you cross the veil and you've seen loved ones in like a long time. And so I want to go to this party really, really bad. But I know it's a long way away, and then if I want to go, like, what am I going to do? My car? How am I going to get my car home? But it's a long way away. That was the part I got out of that. And so I start to think about this party, and how am I going to, go to it? It's so far away, and am I going to get back to my car and all this kind of stuff? And then all of a sudden, guys, boom, I'm in this huge school gym, like a gymnasium. And as I'm walking out of this gymnasium, I notice that beautiful brunette. It's that same girl that I think the angel showed me in a bunch of dreams that she was my eternal companion. She's showing up all over the place. And so it's like she was given a chance to see me, and like I was getting a chance to see her spiritually. It's like romantic. It's like two spirits who have been waiting for each other for, two spirits of one flesh waiting for you to get up there so you can be reunited with someone you love and you miss with all your heart. I think God has a lot of mysteries and a lot of blessings and a lot of amazing things for us that you would never expect on this earth. That's why I call myself a truth seeker. I seek after all God's truths, not just some. No matter how hard or no matter how hard they may be to believe, I say, Lord, whatever you want me to believe, Lord, I am yours. Teach me and I will accept it. Whatever knowledge you wish to give me, Lord, I will accept. So then I see her, and I'm kind of like, I kind of look away like a little kid would do, and I'm like, oh, she's looking at me, So then I go and I'm looking at this object in my hand. Remember a long time ago, I told you guys I had an object an angel gave to me. The angel asked me to give her a kiss. So I pecked. It's like like a transfer of the river of life or water. And then she hands me this pipe-looking, not a V, but like a pipe-shaped object. Well, I'm in this gym with that object. It looked like I don't know, like a piped telescope or a piped object. I'm not sure what it was. So I'm walking with it though, and I'm trying to kind of play it cool with her, like she's looking at me kind of like a kid would do, she's looking at me, me walking her way kind of cool, and, so that's basically what I was doing, but that was her, but I'm not realizing it when I'm in the dream, but as I wake up, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's her, so I would love to one day go and be like, what were you thinking when my spirit was there, like, trying to get your attention, like, I don't know. Okay, so as this dream goes on, it's going to get more and more and more mind-blowing, brothers and sisters, so stay with me. So I leave this party and I go into another place, and everybody has brand new RVs, mobile homes, ready to go somewhere. I see motorbikes all brand new. I see vehicles all brand new. Everybody was getting ready to move to go somewhere. So we were all like with our new little play toys here, but we're ready to go. These were all movable objects. And for a second there, I don't know if this meant anything, but a spare handlebar from a motorbike, and I kind of went towards me, and I grabbed it, and I kind of just put it back on the ground so whoever lost it could find it. I don't know if that meant anything or just was like, shouldn't even worry about that. But so I grabbed it and I put it back on the ground. I was like, oh, next person who comes, hopefully he sees what he lost. So I'm at this party, guys, this wedding supper party, and we're all having such a great time. And then out of nowhere, the Lord does something very, very unexpected. He blows my mind. I thought he blew my mind yesterday, brothers and sisters. He blew my mind last night to a whole nother level. I mean, I can almost not tell you guys what happened last night. But I have to, because I can't hold this in. I got to tell my brothers and sisters. So I want you guys excited with me, because you guys encourage me. And hopefully I encourage you sometimes. And so All right, so we're at the party and having such a great time that out of nowhere the Lord does something. I say, my spirit, okay, you're not even imagine this. All of a sudden, I do my little boom. Boom. My spirit wakes up and I'm in a totally different scene and I'm in a total different reality. God had changed time. I woke up. Actually, I woke up in this place. I did a backflip. I think the backflip meant turning back time. I did a backflip and I get woken up. I leave all these parties and all that, and then I'm in a whole nother scene. I am in a scene with my very first ex. When I was younger, she had a little girl that was like 6 or 7, and she wasn't my kid or nothing like that, but she had a little girl, and I do my backflip. The little girl pulls me up, and I'm seeing my very first ex and her little kid in there, like, but in the dream, we're still together. God changed the time. How do I say this? He gave me a different path in history. Guys, this was so strong. It's like God was turning back the hands of time and he put me in a different path. Now, this is stuff you watch on TV or movies that'll blow your mind. This happened to me, brothers and sisters, and I still do not know what to make of it. So, but this girl, way back then was a cheater, big time cheater, and I'm not even getting into it. So I left her. I couldn't be with somebody like that. I was always a guy who wanted a loving family that, where both people were praising God all the time, and that just wouldn't happen in that relationship. But anyway, I take off. So I take off. And as I take off, I am stopped by an angel in a boat. But before I go on, I must say that at the party, there were 2 couples that were doing backflips and they were hit their head and they were kind of bashful about it. And my mom and my stepdad were there at this place and they would run and race each other and fall and hurt themselves. So that is something I accidentally left out. I don't know if it means anything, but I'm just kind of throwing it in. But yeah, before I get to that boat, before I leave this scene, guys, the Lord put me in this vision, in this place, as if we never would have broke up and we'd still be together right now. And it was, I didn't know what to do. I just took off. I tell you the truth, I took off because it just was a bad situation. So I walk out and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a boat appears. Not a big boat, not a Rapture type boat. No, just like a little, you go on a little aluminum boat, like you go fishing in or something like that, So, well, I don't know if it was wood or aluminum, but it was a little bitty boat. Kind of like we have here in Louisiana. But, okay, so I get taken up to this boat. I'm in the water and I'm holding on to this boat. And out of nowhere, guys, an angel is sitting in the boat. I don't know why they do this, but they always try to trick me with what they look like. If they're black, they're really white. If they're white, they could be black. I don't know. They always do that to me. My little one of my favorite little angels, little black angel. She's actually an 8-foot tall white guy, I think. So I don't know why they do that, but in this particular dream, this boat, I'm in this boat and there is this glittery black angel. I don't know if he was black, but he was really dark skinned. His skin was faded a little bit, and he was glittery. And he's sitting in this boat and he's trying to talk to me. And again, in an angelic smile that felt powerful, he asked me, "Do you know who's doing this?" And I was like, "Yes, God." He's like, "Yes, it is God." And it was more to, who do you think's just doing this? It was more like, who do you think is changing time for you right now? Who do you think is putting you in a different life's path? Who do you think is doing these miraculous things? And he's asked me this. I'm like, God, of course, I didn't even hesitate. It's my Lord. But he starts to tell me something very interesting. He says, because at this point, guys, I was running from that girl. All right, I was running from her because I was in a different time period, and I did not want to be in that period. So I ran out of there. But he's telling me to get back in the boat to go back. Well, he's not meaning for me to go back to my ex, but I'll explain why in a second. So I don't want you guys to think that, because that's not what it is. But at first I'm thinking to myself, get back in the boat so I go back to see her, or go live my life now with her. I don't want to go back to her. but I didn't say anything. I'm always really obedient in my dreams for the most part. And so he starts to talk to me about a bunch of things, guys. And he tells me I need to head back. Like I said, I assumed he meant go back to my ex, but he did not. So I asked him if he knew where I was going and all that, and he said yes. And so I get into this boat, guys. I get in this boat, and the angel is talking to me. He starts to talk to me about a lot of things, about where I'm headed, and he starts to talk to me about what it is to be a good prophet. And this is stuff that I never brought up. The angel's bringing it up to me. I'm not bringing it up. He's bringing it up to me. He's talking to me about being a great prophet or being a good prophet and doing this and that. And he told me a lot of words of wisdom, but I cannot remember all what he said. You know, just when that word prophet stuck in there, I kind of my ears kind of leased onto that, what he was saying about that. Because if it's the mantle that God gave me in a vision I had a while back, then I would like to know how he thinks I'm doing. So I pay attention to that. So he starts to kind of beat and not love on me, you know, and he gives me some encouragement. He's like, we need you to come back. And when he's telling me I need you to go back, it's almost like my spirit, doesn't it sound like my spirit was somewhere? He needed my spirit to go back. So the next scene, I try to fulfill the mission and be obedient. And what I do is, you know, I tell him I'll do the will of the Father. So I get into the boat, and boom, I'm in another scene altogether. Imagine this: there's a house, and in front of this house, there is a tree, a big tree. Like if you ever lived in Louisiana, you got the bayous and big old oak trees and all that. Well, I am laying in this little fishing boat, you know, aluminum weld or a little wooden boat, and I'm like passed out or half asleep from drinking wine, maybe at the wedding supper. So I was drinking wine, I guess, and I pull up, and I hit this board or this tree right in front of this nice lady's house. And I'm thinking, they're sending me to a whole nother reality, a whole nother time slip. So I'm like, oh my goodness, who is this girl that they're telling me I'm going to be with? Guys, do you remember the same video I did the last time about singing to Jesus? I was singing to him right before I started to sing. He told me that really soon I would be with a girl, the brunette, really soon. And so the next day I'm having a dream here, and the mission that he has me going on this boat right now, the angel has me going to this new reality, and I'm betting that's who the girl is that the Lord is sending me to. So I get sent there, hit that tree in front of their house, boom, boom. The mother hears the noise, and she goes and she walks outside, and she says, oh, is that you, Jacob? Okay, pause there. Did you guys hear that first? Oh, she's giggling. Is that you, Jacob? Really sweet old lady. Okay, guys, my name is Jason, not Jacob. But in this reality that God has me in now, my name is Jacob. Remember he told me to go sit at the bench of Jacob and go in the house of the remnant? Well, now he's calling me Jacob, which gets really, really deep. So I jump out of this boat, and I got half my clothes off. You know, I had like a hard night, you know. Half my clothes are off. I'm full of mud. I'm on this little boat, and I jump off this little boat, and she's the sweetest old lady. I'm taking it. This is my wife, if she's gonna be my wife, my eternal companion. So I'm taking it. This is her mother, and so this girl, I get a flash vision of her as I'm, you know, talking to the mom, and she's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl, you know. And as I'm about to walk away, there's two things really happen. I ask him, how long is my mission? Guys, I've been telling you in other dreams and visions that the Lord called me as a secret ops guy. And so this confirmed to me, he brings me on missions. I don't know how the Lord is doing that and using me that way. But I said, how long is my mission for this time? And he said to me, he said, Jason, I don't know. He said, because this wasn't the Lord. This was like a regular angel. He says, Jason, I don't know for sure, but maybe forever. That's what he told me. I don't know for sure, but maybe forever. And as he's doing this, it's just the amazement that they knew me in this new reality that God had set up. He sent me into a loving place. Guys, I mean, this can go deep, guys. This girl could be a real girl, and this girl can be as Israel, can be Israel. This girl can symbolize my eternal companion, or she could symbolize Israel as a nation as well. Now that's not all to Jacob. So now he told me to go sit at the bench with Jacob and enter the house of remnant. Now he gives me a new mission where he sends me in to this who I thought of as my eternal companion. He's giving me these gifts, and he's telling me to they're calling me Jacob now. And so then that's not all, brothers and sisters. The same darn night, I got up a couple times, and I was having dreams and rapture dreams and all this stuff, guys. I mean, I have like a week's worth of papers here. Some people say, well, how can you do a dream a day? That's not possible, guys. I will get 10, 20 dreams sometimes. The Lord will fill my mind with so much stuff, and I'll spend all day in this little man cave writing and doing the will of the Lord for my brothers and sisters. But then he takes me into a house, and I see I'm in this house, and I notice there's a little loft above the kitchen. Go up there, it's kind of dirty, so I get back down, and out of nowhere, Jacob's ladder appears, everybody. This is the third Jacob in the two dreams. So Jacob's ladder appears. It was huge. It wasn't like thick, but it was really tall and skinny, and it was way up in the air, and I knew it was Jacob's ladder. Maybe not exactly how it looks, but in the dream or the vision, they were portraying it as Jacob's ladder, and it was going way up high into some sort of an attic. Now that's symbolic too, guys. That's like another room, way up high. That's like maybe that symbolizes heaven in the attic, and at the bottom of the stairs is earth. See this? So that stair I was going to get on is going to be taking me to heaven, if that makes sense to you. And I also went and looked up Jacob and the Jacob's ladder. And first thing I go to, of course, tells me some of the most amazing things. So first I read here, it says Jacob's ladder, this is Hebrew, is the colloquial name for a bridge between the earth and heaven that the biblical patriarch Jacob dreams. Remember now, I'm getting to do things sitting at the bench with Jacob. Okay, the same patriarch. Keep that in the back of your mind. So dreams about during his flight from his brother Esau. And as described in the book of Genesis, the significance of the dream has been somewhat debated, but most interpretations agree that identify Jacob with the obligations and inheritance of the ethnic people chosen by God, as understood in the Judeo-Christian Islam panoply. It has since been used as a symbolic reference in various other contexts. So it says here that Jacob has an obligation and inheritance over his ethnic people, okay, and over his tribes. So, when the Lord told me to go sit at the table with Jacob, the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, was he telling me at that particular job or that particular heavenly promotion, was he telling me that I would somehow go through some of the things that Jacob went through? Will I get an inheritance? Will I have will I have found a nation after the second coming when there's hardly no one alive? Could my seed bring forth other people, other tribes, just as Jacob's did? I know it's really deep and really far-fetched, guys, but it's some of the stuff the Lord is showing me, and they're even the Lord was even calling me Jacob. I could be totally wrong here, but guys, this is a really deep thought here. I hope you don't get too crazy about me reading these things, but it just I'm really like full steam ahead trying to figure out what the Lord is trying to teach me. We also read here in Genesis 28:10-19 that Jacob left Beersheba and went toward Haran. He came to the place and stayed there that night because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones of the place, he put it under his head and lay down in the place to sleep. And as he dreamed, and behold, there was a ladder set up on earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it, or beside him, and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham your father, and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie I will give you and to your descendants. I'll pause here. Was this dream was the angel and the Lord giving me my land, my descendants. And I may say too, brothers and sisters, that if you remember your Bible, Jacob had two wives. He had Rebecca, if I'm correct, and he had Leah. And he was tricked with Rebecca, so he had to get, work for, he got Leah first and had to work for Rebecca. And I tell you guys all the time that I'm always having visions, and I'm always seeing two girls, a brunette and a blonde. So that can also correlate with Jacob, because I see two girls, and he was married to two girls. So all this stuff is starting to come together like a puzzle for me right now, and I would love for you guys to please help me and help me point things out. But it says here that spoke to Isaac, God of Isaac, the land on which you lie I will give to you and your descendants, and your descendants shall be like the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad to the west and to the east and to the north and to the south, and by you and your descendants shall all the families of earth bless themselves. Behold, I am with you and keep you wherever you go, and will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave until I have done that of which I have spoken to you. Then Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know. And he was afraid and said, this is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. And I just got done telling you that Jesus told me to go to the house of the remnant. So the Lord he's trying to put this together for me. He wants me to piece this together. And brothers and sisters, this is driving me crazy. Like, Lord, what are you trying to tell me? I think I know what he's trying to tell me, but I can't come out and say it, because if I say it, you guys would be like, no, you guys probably wouldn't like it too much. So I'll keep it to myself. But he's relating me awfully a lot to Jacob, the prophet Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's relating I don't know, I'm not even gonna go there with that, but this is so exciting, guys, to have time stopped by an angel, by God, and have him put me in different scenes, vision scenes, guys, where I'm seeing people that I haven't seen in a long time. Where I'm seeing people decorating mansions, and I'm seeing people praising God, and I'm seeing angels stop reality. And it's like if you're married, or no, you're not married, I don't use that example, but say you're there and God put you in a relationship you had 10 years back and showed you how it looked if you would have stayed together for 10 years. That's what happened to me. Okay, but he told me this last time would be forever. Well, this is getting really long, brothers and sisters, so I probably won't even have an ending clip, and I'll just end with my testimony that I know God lives. I know Jesus Christ is his son. He loves you so very much. And I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.